Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the show. So today I want to share with you guys a conversation slash an evening that I had with my uncle who is on the carnivore diet. Now, my uncle, he lives in Phoenix, Arizona. He's actually on the SWAT team out there, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I think there's actually a pretty high crime rate out where he is. He's always busy, always doing crazy stuff. But yeah, so we actually ended up going to Burgatory last night for dinner, and obviously my mom, she's very compassionate, and uh, she wants to make sure that I'm fed, and she wants to make sure that we're always going to places that I can eat, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, mom. And there is she asked if Burgatory is okay, and she was like, your uncle, he's a big meat guy. Like all he wants to do is eat meat. So we ended up agreeing on Burgatory. And fortunately, there's vegan options that you can get at Burgatory. Even their milkshakes are there's the vegan options for milkshakes. I didn't go in yesterday, but they're actually really good if you do go there. Now, we walk into the restaurant and everyone sits down, and I'm the last one to sit down. He's like, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I gotta sit next to this damn vegan. Like, are you serious? Like, oh my gosh." And he just starts ripping me apart, just saying like, "Oh, like your diet's the worst diet ever." And and I'm just laughing. Like it is what it is. I'm not like that's just kind of who I am. I don't take offense to too much. I know that he's just joking, but he probably isn't joking. He feels like I feel like he means it, because he may be one of those guys who's pretty one-sided to what he's doing, even though he did open up later on in the evening and said that, oh yeah, I get it. Like, whatever feels best for you, if that feels good for you, do that. If it's vegetarian, if it's pescatarian, if it's eating cardboard and bark, whatever, do what's right for you. Now, I think it can take time for an individual to really know what works for them, especially when you do have occasions where you're going out to eat and maybe you're in a pinch and you have to eat a protein bar, or you got to eat a snack that you wouldn't normally want, or whatever, any reason. So it's tough to stick and maintain to a certain way of eating and lifestyle. It really is difficult. Now, when we're eating here, so we're ordering food and stuff, we're looking at the menu, and obviously he's shitting on like the Impossible Burger. And he's like, I would never, ever, ever put that in my body ever. And I'm like, well, I would never, well, not never. I was like, I'm not going to put that in my body. So yeah, I'm actually to speak on that. I don't want to never say never. And I plan on doing an episode coming up talking about like my eating and why I do what I do, but I'll never say never. How can you say that? Oh, I'm never gonna bike again, or I'm never gonna run again, or I'm never gonna work out, I'm never gonna go to the beach, or I'm never gonna be nice to you, or I'm never gonna eat eggs again. Like you just never, like you really just never know what's gonna happen in your life. So just want to make a note of that. But yeah, so I really wanted to get a gauge of what he was eating and why he was doing what he's doing, and like kind of how he came about to what he's doing. And he said that the Carnivore MD was one of his go-to guys that he started watching and following, and Sean Baker as well. And it was about 3 years ago where he started doing like pretty much only meat. And he says that he does like 2 meals a day, and the one meal's like 11 o'clock. The one meal's at like, I don't know, 6 or something. And he says that he makes sure, whatever that is, that he has like a pound or a pound and a half of ground beef or red meat in a meal, which is like, when you think about it, that's pretty crazy. Maybe it's not though. For him, he feels great. He feels good. So he does like, I think he really does like eggs and meat and butter and some cheese, I guess. I guess a little bit of dairy here and there. He said that like in pinches, he would go to In-N-Out Burger and he would order like 12 patties, like just burger patties from In-N-Out. He does say that he'll do like protein bars that he gets at Costco occasionally, if he's like in a pinch. Um, but he says he usually like preps everything. He does hunt. He said that he hunted some like wild boar that's out in Arizona. And I think he maybe hunts deer, but yeah, so he does that. Now, I actually asked him, I said, like, do you fat? Or actually, you know what? Let me backtrack. Because I want to bring up how he felt and why he did it. He was just kind of like going from diet to diet and stuff, and nothing's really working for him. And he came across this, and he pretty much said, like, right away that like his inflammation was lower. He felt better. He was recovering better. He was just overall feeling much better. And he just kept doing it. And 3 years later, he's like, here I am, I feel great. Now, with the fasting, I actually brought up, I was like, so do you intermittent fast? And he was like, no, I don't intermittent fast. And then I was like, all right, well, like, when do you eat? And he's like, so like, I'll get up in the morning and have like a coffee with heavy cream, which is just like all fat. And then I went to eat till 11. And I was like, oh, so you intermittent fast? He was like, oh, well, he's like, I don't like do it on purpose, but that's just like kind of how I do it. And I'm just like, okay, well, you still intermittent fast. Like whether you're doing it on purpose or not, like you're still intermittent fasting. Because he did mention that he does not like eating dinner late. He wants to finish eating dinner early, and he says that he sleeps much better and his night's better when he does that. So he does like to finish dinner early, like I said, probably around 6 or 7. And I think most people can agree with that. Like, even for me, like I don't a lot of times like eating a huge meal and going right to bed. Like, it doesn't always feel good, even though I can do it. Because there are times when I'll eat, even if it's a big meal, like late at night, and it'll feel like I haven't really eaten anything, like straight up. I'm just like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I'll fall right asleep. But that's usually when I have like pretty big time periods of not eating. So like if I eat lunch at 12:30, then I didn't eat dinner until like 8:30. So like 8 hours. I mean, like it's pretty good. So like, or good, is that good? I don't know if it's good or not, but yeah, I mean, everything's probably digested, and there's a lot of room in there for food. So yeah, but he does intermittent fast and he does drink coffee. It's actually funny. He was wearing a coffee shirt and said coffee or die. And I was like, should I start drinking coffee? I don't drink it. He's like, no, I wouldn't start if I were you. I'm open to like having some coffee here and there, maybe at some point in my life, if I ever get a girlfriend and she like wants to go get coffee. But I don't know if that's when that's gonna happen. But yeah, with the coffee stuff too, I even told him, I was like, oh yeah, I hear that like coffee is good for preventing strokes and dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. He was like, oh, you know what's good for that? What's the best for that? And I was like, sleep. And he was like, fat. And I was like, okay, you said that like your brain and your whatever up here behind your head and everything is just coated with fat and it's protective for different diseases. And I'm like, interesting. So he's your typical like no seed oils, no sugar, carnivore guy, like scared of that stuff, which they all seem to do that. And I think they have a valid point. Because I feel like if you do something like all meat and animal products and butter and eggs and a little bit of milk and stuff, like, yeah, you probably shouldn't eat any sugar, or you're going to just mess your system up. And you're going to raise your blood sugar. Well, no, I feel like the sugar, it's just going to be harder for the sugar to get in the cell. So if you don't eat any sugar, it doesn't have to get in the cell, I guess. And we know that your body goes through the processes when you do like high fat and high protein, kind of like the carnivore diet. And AJ and I, we actually did do an episode on this on keto. But yeah, so what else? What else did I say? What else did I ask him at the dinner table? I brought up like animal rights and stuff, and like the ethical side of it. I was like, so like, how do you ethically live with this, or how do you or no, what I asked him, I was like, do you think it's ethical to eat animals in the way that you do it? And he brought up like hunting and just kind of said that like these animals that are out there now, they're gonna die regardless, which we're all gonna die regardless. But he's like, it's better for it's. He says that it feels ethical and moral for him if he kills the animal and he uses it for food and he eats it and it feeds his family versus the wolf or cougar or whatever's out in Arizona kills the animal instead and they have a much more vicious death. Whereas the human can use it for fuel. And I'm so agreeable. Like, I'm just like, okay, like I can't argue with that. You know, it's fine. Like, and I think that's, if people want to live that way and they can do that, they can sustain a life like that. Awesome. Do that. And then I brought up like, oh, like what about like factory farming and like the meat you're eating here at Burgatory right now? There's no way that these animals were treated humanely, were raised properly, were treated with love. You know, there's just no way. And he was just kind of like, oh, well, yeah, I don't do that very often. Obviously, like I don't really agree with that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. It's the circle of life, you know. He mentioned the circle of life a couple of times. But yeah, I feel like he didn't really have a good response to something like that, because it's I feel like with the factory farm stuff, it's really hard to versus like someone who does have their own farm, or if you do get your own animal products from someone who does treat the animals respectfully and nicely. I feel like there's definitely a barrier there. But when you think about it, the factory farms are feeding much more people than the local farm that you go to. Gosh, this light, if you're watching the video right now, this light is like, it's just so annoying. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I did get an Impossible Burger and it was actually pretty good. I can't even lie. It was delicious. I enjoyed it. Felt good after it, actually digested really well. I didn't get a milkshake at Burgatory. We actually ended up going after and getting ice cream as a family. So that was nice. But yeah, matter of fact, one of the biggest questions that I had from him was talking about like working out and exercise. And he loves to run. And do you guys know that Hella guy? I think he's actually plant-based, vegan, whatever you want to call it. But he's ran like every day for over 5 years, which is really cool. And my Uncle Mark, he just loves running. And I'm like, why do you run? He's like, for fucking life, dude. Like, I'm running for life. Like, what? There's no other reason to run than for life. You know, I'm training for life. I'm training to be a beast in life. You never know when you're going to need it. I think that's a great, I was like, yeah, it's a great point. That's awesome. And he's like dedicated to it. I think he actually does like triathlons and marathons and stuff. So he wants to always make sure that he's in shape too. I just feel like with stuff like that, it can get tricky because I think disorders can come up. And I even met people in person and talked to people online who've like had disorders with working out, where they felt like they legit had to go to the gym to burn off the calories for what they ate, and just kind of stuff like that. And I feel like there is disordered patterns with working out. I'm really trying to move this. This is just so annoying in my face, but whatever. I still look beautiful. Now, so what else did my uncle and I talk about? I'm trying to think of some stuff, because we had a really good conversation, and I really wanted to get him on the podcast. I was like, come on, dude, like, let's go, let's talk. He's like, no, I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't do podcasts and everything. No, like, so I want to remember as much as possible. I mean, we talked about it a lot. I asked him tons of questions. Yeah, so let's just fast forward to the ice cream night. There was a place where they did have dairy-free ice cream. Yay, good for me. And it tasted pretty good. It actually tasted like a Wendy's Frosty. Wendy's Frosty. And he got, I don't know, some fucking Oreo ice cream, whatever. And he's like, "Oh, get the dairy one, and I'll suck the dairy out of it for you and take it." I love that. Okay, dude. But it really was a night of him just, he was just shitting on me and stuff like that. And I even told him like stuff that I eat and what I prefer. And he asked the typical, like, where do you get your protein question? And I told him all that. And like I told him I eat rice, I eat potatoes, I eat tofu, I drink soy milk, I eat a lot of fruit, I eat some vegetables, I drink veggie juices, stuff like that. So I eat nuts and seeds. Yeah, actually, I actually brought up bowel movements and constipation. And I was like, so are you constipated? Like, do you poop? How does that work for you? And he was like, I don't understand how people on the carnivore diet say they're constipated, because I am not whatsoever. And he's like, I have the best bowel movements. Like, I get a full release. It feels so good. And I was like, what do you think it is? And he was like, it's the fat. It's like the fat's lubricating the body, and it's making it easier for you to poop. And I'm just kind of like, oh man, it's just like, you hear all this stuff and all these different kind of these like diet camps, and you're like, what the fuck is the truth? Like, holy shit. We have like the raw vegans saying that like your meat's getting stuck inside of you and you can't digest it, and you have mucoid plaque from all the shit that you're eating and all the junk and all this kind of stuff. Like, eat more fiber so it can push the toxins through you, and drink juice, because like if you drink juice, then the juice creates an effect in your body, and it can like help push and pull waste out and like help you poop and stuff. And now we have something like this where he's like, the more fat I eat, the better I poop, and the more I poop. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, what's the actual truth? And I guess I'm sure they're all valid. Maybe it just comes back to the point to where like your body just adapts to whatever you do. So if you do something like the keto diet or the carnivore diet or something like that, your body adapts, and it ensures that it's eliminating what it needs to eliminate. And the same with being vegan and just eating a normal diet. Like, but I do think there are a lot of people out there who are fucking having issues with that, and they can't poop, and it's like, what the heck, So, yeah, but overall, like, we had a good talk. He says he feels great. He says that, he's loving life. He's happy. He says that he like actually gets full from his meals. He doesn't feel hungry. And I asked him about like cholesterol and stuff, and he mentioned that like LDL, there's like three like parts of LDL cholesterol. And he said it doesn't matter how high the cholesterol is, as long as those three ratios are all like even, which even with like the cholesterol stuff, I feel like I'm learning like I haven't like taken the time to really like dive into what these people are talking about like HDL, LDL, triglycerides, ApoB, all that kind of stuff. Supposedly there's like oxidized LDL. I don't know, like, even when I did try to look for this kind of stuff, like, you can't like find it on the internet. It's like, you have to like look at a medical textbook, maybe. I don't know, but it's just like, it's confusing. Maybe I just got to go get blood work done, and it'll tell me all right there. Just get a full panel blood work, and it should say, I guess, right. And I was like, well, like, aren't you scared about like getting a heart attack? And he's like, dude, I've eaten so much red meat. If I would have had a heart attack, I would already have one already. And I'm like, I guess, but I was like, I mean, it takes time. It doesn't just like happen. It's like when you're trying to heal, you don't just like fucking heal in one day from a water fast or from doing a colonic or drinking green juice. Like, it takes time. Everything takes time. It doesn't just happen. Now, I'm not saying that like he is going to have a heart attack, or that he should be worried about it, because a lot of these carnivores, they don't seem to be worried about that at all. And they say that like that you actually have a better predictor of longevity if your LDL is high. And then like these vegans, plant-based people on Twitter are like, you're crazy, like you're nuts. Like, I can't believe you're saying that. I don't know. It's just, a lot of it is just, what the heck, man? Like what do you believe? And I guess like the only truth is yourself. How do you feel? Are you getting the results that you want to get? That's another thing that I asked him. I asked him like, oh, like if you had to, this is during our ice cream talk. I was like, if you had to eat a plant-based diet, like, what would you do? Like, this is a hypothetical, you are forced to do it. What would you do? Because he's like so against fucking being vegan and eating only plants. And I feel like they are like that. But he's like, well, if they told me that if I eat broccoli and cheese and that's all I could eat, and I would have like the best performance possible, then I would do that. And I would get the best results possible, I would do that. And I'm like, cool. I love that he said cheese in there. Like, is it vegan cheese or is it fucking Velveeta cheese? Like, what kind of cheese? No, I'm just joking. Like, I feel like he wouldn't even know like what plant-based eating is, for the most part. I mean, he hasn't looked into it, I guess. That's pretty much it. But yeah, I think that's a great point though that he makes there, is that a lot of this stuff is performance based. And even like with AJ, he claims to want to have a competitive edge in his life. And he feels that during this time period in his life, that if he's not at least widening his plates and widening his palates, that he's being held back from really reaching his potential. So now, once again, I think that comes in with like the prepping and stuff. I think if you prep properly, you can make do of it. But still, especially with his job, like it seems like it's vigorous and lots of work and not much time. And I understand like you want to come home and rest and get to bed. You don't want to just like fucking, oh, now I got to prep for 3 hours for my day tomorrow or the week. So yeah, but I think like eating for yourself to get a competitive advantage and to get the results you want, I think that's a great way to look at it. And I've changed my mindset around that recently, because even still, like, there's still times when I'm like, oh, like fruit's the best food and I should only eat fruit. But then like, I don't want to just do that. And I feel so much better when I include in more foods into my diet. I should go on like a fruit and tofu diet. No, I shouldn't do that. No, I definitely shouldn't do that. I love rice. I love potatoes. Actually, I've been eating more nuts and seeds recently, and even those feel good. I feel like I'm getting good results from that. So what else? We talked about like Standard American diet and how like he was kind of going on a tangent himself about this. I don't know so much. I was just listening. It's kind of how like everyone just eats all the shit, like all bullshit, and everyone's fat and overweight. And he mentioned like, oh, well, like everyone's on a high carb diet right now. And I'm like, yeah, you say that, but like, you don't know what they're eating. Like, they're not eating rice. They're not eating potatoes. They're not eating fruit. They're not like actually doing a high carb diet. Like their diet may be high carb, but it's not like a legit high carb diet, how it should be. Everyone's adding all this kind of fat and all types of shit to it, all bullshit. They're like, yeah, you get a pizza, it's high carb, but there's a ton of fat in that too. If you get the cheese and if you add meat and whatnot. And then, most fast food places you go to, like you get fries, like, yeah, it's high carb, but there's also a lot of fat in that as well, because it's fried in oil. So it's just, I don't think like he's talking about like real high carb diets. Like they may be high carb, but they're also high, like way, way, way high fat. We brought up, what was it? I forgot. Like I said, we talked about so much stuff, but yeah, I mean, overall though, like, I mean, hey, if you feel good doing that and you're okay with eating that way and you can handle it and your body feels good and whatnot, I mean, I have nothing to say to you. And that's what AJ say too, is like, I don't care what you eat. If you feel good and you have good results and you look good and you feel good, like, who cares? Now, I always question like risk of stuff too, but I don't know. Like, these people, they claim that some of these people claim that like you're not going to get a heart attack from having high cholesterol. So I don't know. And a lot of them say like, oh, well, like these studies are bullshit. And matter of fact, the blue zones, people are eating, they're using fake data and the data's wrong. They're actually eating like a lot of eggs and meat now. And it's just like, dude, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what to say to them. I don't know what to tell you. Like, just do it. Feels good. So yeah, he's a good guy. He's actually going to send me his juicer. He has a juicer, doesn't use it. I was like, dude, send me that. It was like, all right. Like, when I get home, text me. I was like, cool. So looks like I'm going to get a free juicer out of it all. Even though I wish I had a podcast episode with him, but this will do. So, yeah, but to finish up here, good dude, good thoughts. A lot of meat, a lot of eggs, a lot of butter. He says he like guzzles butter. Like, I don't know. He says he cooks with like avocado oil. I was like, that's a seed oil. He was like, no, it's not. I was like, I know, it's a fruit oil. He even mentioned that he tried eating some honey, and he's like doing a little bit of fruit here and there. I guess because the Carnivore MD said it, and he's doing it now. The Carnivore MD writes a book on the carnivore diet and then fucking stops being carnivore because it's just not sustainable. And that's something else too that he brought up. He was like, once every 2 weeks, him and his kids, they do pizza night. So he'll get like a meat lover's pizza from wherever they go, and that's what he does. So that's not carnivore, but he wants to be able to enjoy his life too. He wants to be able to enjoy meals with family and friends and not being so restrictive. I think that's cool, and it made me realize like, okay, so I guess for me, myself, I need to make sure that I'm eating in a way that not only feels best for me, but ensuring that feeding my body properly and I'm getting the results that I want to get. And if you deviate from that path, it's fine. But like, I already know that. And that's basically what I do already. Like, when I make my food and I eat what I eat, like, I do that because I feel good and because that's what I want to eat. And I know that I'm getting good results because of that. I think, at least, I'm sure there's some stuff that I can maneuver in and out and do some stuff differently, but yeah, pretty much basically what he just made me realize, like, hey, like, it's good to live your life and enjoy it. But he also made me realize that most diets out there aren't sustainable. They're really not, especially like, it's like those people who like only want to do fruits, only want to juice fast. They want to be like so restrictive and stuff. And it's just really hard to live your life like that, especially in normal society. So, but anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. I think I did a pretty good job of summing up the conversations in the evening that I had with my uncle. Yeah, he asked me some questions, but it's pretty much a lot of stuff that I talk about on here. So yeah, I actually really wish I would have got some like videos of us talking and put them on the YouTube channel. That would have been cool, but is what it is, I guess. So anyways, guys, I'm actually going to go for a run right now, even though I already showered, but I'll still do it. I'll go for a run. He actually did. like I love running. I just like haven't found a why yet to like run more. I haven't, but I need to because I love it. And it does make me feel good. But still, I feel like there needs to be more than that. Like I'm not training for anything, you know, it's just kind of like run to run. But there is something about running that I do really enjoy. And I got to find that passion inside of me to get out and do it more. And this is definitely a good motivator to help me do that. And I think what I'm going to do is 3 days a week, stick to that for as long as I can. And if I can do more, cool. If not, cool. But I think I'm going to go 3 days a week. So I think that'd be awesome. And I'm like a good runner too. Like if I actually trained for running, I could probably do a 5K under 18 if I like actually tried for it. That's tough actually. Holy shit. That's really fast. Under 19 for sure. Under 18 is like 6-minute pace. Like 6:05 maybe. But yeah. Let me know down below if like what you like to eat, what makes you feel good, like what you've noticed in your life that gives you a competitive advantage. What have you tried a diet like that? Have you tried doing like more meat? Have you tried doing only fruit? Have you tried doing, you know, more plant-based protein sources? Yeah, would love to hear your thoughts. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon, whenever you're listening to this, and stay up, be great. Always keep it 100.